Not everyone in your life is who they appear to be. Some people pretend to care, but behind their smile they are draining your energy, sabotaging your confidence, and manipulating your emotions. And the worst part? You might not even realize it's happening. Have you ever walked away from an interaction feeling drained but couldn't explain why? Or noticed someone's words and actions didn't quite add up, yet brushed it off as a small flaw? These aren't coincidences, they're warning signs. Toxic individuals don't always reveal themselves through outright hostility. More often they hide behind charm, friendliness, or false concern. But beneath that mask, they manipulate, control, and deceive. Sometimes subtly, sometimes overtly. And one thing is certain, they do not have your best interests at heart. Today, we're breaking down 9 unmistakable signs of toxic individuals so you can spot them early and protect your peace. This isn't just about avoiding negativity. It's about reclaiming your emotional stability, reinforcing your confidence, and surrounding yourself with people who uplift you. Stay with me until the end, because every sign is a crucial piece of the puzzle. Understanding them could mean the difference between a life of unnecessary suffering and one filled with strength, wisdom, and self-respect. If you're ready to take control of your life, hit that subscribe button right now. Don't just watch, be part of a community dedicated to wisdom, self-mastery, and personal growth. Like, share, and subscribe, because these insights could change someone's life today. Let's dive in. Sign number 1. They take pleasure in your pain. A true friend empathizes with your struggles, standing by your side when life gets tough. They offer encouragement, a listening ear, or simply their presence. In contrast, a toxic person views your pain as entertainment or a chance for self-validation. They might smirk at your setbacks, mock your struggles, or brush off your hardships as unimportant. At first, their behavior may seem minor, maybe a sarcastic remark or a laugh when you share difficult experience. But as time goes on, you begin to notice a pattern. Their lack of empathy becomes clear. Instead of supporting you, they seem to relish your failures, treating them as evidence of their own superiority. A real-life example: imagine facing a challenging situation at work, dealing with an unfair boss or struggling with a heavy workload. You turn to a colleague for support, expecting empathy or understanding. Instead, they smirk and say, "It's funny that you're struggling," or "I saw this coming." Rather than offering help, they enjoy your misfortune. At first, you might dismiss it. Maybe they didn't mean it that way. But over time, you realize this pattern. Whenever you face hardship, they seem too entertained. They enjoy others' struggles, feeling a twisted sense of power when someone fails. This isn't just a minor flaw, it's a clear red flag. A person who takes pleasure in your pain lacks empathy, and their presence will drain your energy and peace. The Stoic perspective. The power of mutual support. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, emphasized that mutual support is the foundation of a strong community. Stoicism teaches that our relationships should be built on understanding, compassion, and a shared commitment to personal growth. A person who finds joy in others' misfortunes violates this principle. Instead of uplifting others, they foster distrust and negativity. Recognizing this behavior is the first step in protecting yourself. Ask yourself, does this person add value to my life? Or do they drain my energy, confidence, and peace of mind? If it's the latter, it may be time to distance yourself and seek relationships that align with your values. Relationships built on kindness, respect, and mutual support. Sign number 2. They are masters of emotional manipulation. A toxic person doesn't always reveal their nature through anger. Instead, they manipulate your emotions to control you. They use guilt, blame, and victimhood to keep you trapped in a cycle of emotional obligation, making you feel responsible for their happiness, stability, or well-being. Rather than confronting their own shortcomings, they shift the blame onto you. When something goes wrong, it's never their fault. It's yours. If they're unhappy, it's because you didn't do enough. If they hurt you, they twist the situation, making you feel guilty for misunderstanding them. Over time, this manipulation erodes your confidence and causes you to question your own judgment. Example: narcissistic manipulation in action. Imagine confronting a friend or partner about something they said that hurt you. Instead of acknowledging your feelings, they immediately turn the tables. "I can't believe you think I'd do that on purpose. I guess I'm just a terrible person, huh? After everything I've done for you, this is how you treat me." Suddenly you find yourself apologizing, not for something you did wrong, but for bringing up your feelings at all. This is narcissistic manipulation, a tactic designed to make you doubt your reality while reinforcing their control over you. The Stoic perspective: emotional independence is true freedom. Stoicism teaches that the power to control your own responses is the foundation of true freedom. Epictetus famously said, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation." This means you are not responsible for their emotions, nor should you allow them to dictate yours. A manipulative person thrives when they can make you feel guilty, second-guess yourself, and carry their emotional burdens. The moment you recognize that their emotions are theirs to manage, not yours, you begin to break free. How to protect yourself: recognize the manipulation. Identify patterns of guilt-tripping, blame-shifting, and emotional blackmail. Set clear boundaries. Ask yourself, can you stay true to your values while being manipulated like this? If not, establish firm boundaries now. Stay calm and detached. Avoid engaging in their emotional traps. Respond with logic, not emotion. Practice self-reflection, not self-doubt. Reflect on your actions, but don't take responsibility for things beyond your control. By mastering emotional independence, you reclaim your power. Instead of reacting to their manipulation, you respond with wisdom, protecting your peace and well-being. Sign 3. Their anger is unpredictable and explosive. Everyone gets frustrated, but toxic people turn minor issues into major blow-ups. Their anger is unpredictable, overwhelming, and often used as a weapon to intimidate. One moment, everything seems fine. The next, they are yelling, making cutting remarks, or lashing out over something trivial. If you find yourself walking on eggshells, constantly worried about setting them off, this is more than just a bad temper. It is emotional manipulation. Their anger keeps you anxious, always second-guessing your words and actions. Over time, this drains your confidence and makes you feel powerless. Anger as a tool for control. For toxic individuals, anger is not just a reaction. It is a strategy. They use outbursts to silence you, shift attention away from their faults, and maintain control. In relationships, they explode over small things, making you feel guilty. You end up prioritizing their emotions over your own needs. At work, an angry boss or coworker lashes out, humiliating others or making passive-aggressive remarks. Their goal is to create fear so no one challenges them. In families, a parent or sibling lashes out unpredictably. Everyone avoids confrontation to keep the peace, allowing the toxic cycle to continue. Regardless of the setting, the goal is always the same: to keep you submissive, anxious, and emotionally exhausted. The Stoic perspective. True strength lies in self-control. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Stoicism teaches that true strength is not about dominating others, but mastering yourself. A person who cannot control their anger is ruled by impulse, not reason. They believe power comes from instilling fear, but in reality, it shows weakness and insecurity. Real power lies in staying calm, thinking clearly, and responding with intention rather than reacting emotionally. How to protect yourself. Do not engage. Stay calm and neutral. Reacting emotionally gives them the control they seek. Set firm boundaries. Let them know their anger will not dictate your actions. If they escalate, remove yourself from the situation. Assess their behavior. Ask yourself, is this person using anger to manipulate me? If so, limit your exposure. Distance yourself if necessary. If their outbursts are frequent and harmful, protecting your peace is more important than maintaining the relationship. Their anger is about control, not you. You are not responsible for managing their emotions. Your peace is worth more than their rage. Sign the 4. They betray trust without regret. Trust is the foundation of every relationship, but toxic individuals see it as a tool for manipulation. Lies, broken promises, and deceit aren't just occasional lapses in judgment for them. They reveal a deep character flaw. When they betray you, they do so without hesitation or remorse, leaving you feeling vulnerable and deceived. When trust is shattered, it is nearly impossible to heal the wound. Even if forgiveness is offered, the damage lingers, eroding the foundation of the relationship and planting seeds of doubt that may never fade. Betrayal and its consequences in history. Throughout history, betrayal has had devastating consequences. Julius Caesar's assassination is one of the most famous examples. His trusted confidant, Brutus, turned against him, delivering the fatal blow. Caesar's final words, "Et tu, Brute," were not just expressions of pain but of deep disbelief in the betrayal of someone he once considered loyal. Even in modern times, betrayal in friendships, business, and politics has led to the collapse of trust, reputations, and even entire organizations. Once broken, trust rarely returns to its original strength, making betrayal one of the most damaging acts a person can commit. The Stoic perspective. Honesty and integrity define a virtuous life. Stoicism holds honesty and integrity as core virtues. Seneca and Marcus Aurelius emphasize that a wise person remains consistent in their words and actions, regardless of circumstances. To break trust is to violate not only personal relationships, but also the fundamental principles of integrity and virtue. A person who lies without remorse does not just harm you, they reveal their own lack of moral character. The Stoic approach is to recognize such individuals and ensure they no longer have access to your trust or vulnerability. How to protect yourself. Recognize the pattern. If someone repeatedly lies, breaks promises, or deceives, take it as a warning, not an accident. Distance yourself. Trust is earned, not owed. Do not give second chances to those who repeatedly violate your trust. Set firm boundaries. Do not allow manipulation or deceit to continue unchecked. Make it clear what you will and will not tolerate. Surround yourself with people of integrity. Seek relationships built on honesty, respect, and shared values. Trust, once broken, rarely returns to its full strength. Protect yourself by ensuring that those you rely on are worthy of your trust. If someone has betrayed you once without remorse, they will do it again. Sign the 4. They betray trust without regret. Trust is the foundation of every relationship, but toxic individuals see it as a tool for manipulation. Lies, broken promises, and deceit aren't just occasional lapses in judgment for them. They reveal a deep character flaw. When they betray you, they do so without hesitation or remorse, leaving you feeling vulnerable and deceived. When trust is shattered, it is nearly impossible to heal the wound. Even if forgiveness is offered, the damage lingers, eroding the foundation of the relationship and planting seeds of doubt that may never fade. Betrayal and its consequences in history. Throughout history, betrayal has had devastating consequences. Julius Caesar's assassination is one of the most famous examples. His trusted confidant, Brutus, turned against him, delivering the fatal blow. Caesar's final words, "Et tu, Brute," were not just expressions of pain but of deep disbelief in the betrayal of someone he once considered loyal. Even in modern times, betrayal in friendships, business, and politics has led to the collapse of trust, reputations, and even entire organizations. Once broken, trust rarely returns to its original strength, making betrayal one of the most damaging acts a person can commit. The Stoic perspective, honesty and integrity, define a virtuous. Life Stoicism holds honesty and integrity as core virtues. Seneca and Marcus Aurelius emphasize that a wise person remains consistent in their words and actions, regardless of circumstances. To break trust is to violate not only personal relationships, but also the fundamental principles of integrity and virtue. A person who lies without remorse does not just harm you, they reveal their own lack of moral character. The Stoic approach is to recognize such individuals and ensure they no longer have access to your trust or vulnerability. How to protect yourself: recognize the pattern. If someone repeatedly lies, breaks promises, or deceives, take it as a warning, not an accident. Distance yourself. Trust is earned, not owed. Do not give second chances to those who repeatedly violate your trust. Set firm boundaries. Do not allow manipulation or deceit to continue unchecked. Make it clear what you will and will not tolerate. Surround yourself with people of integrity. Seek relationships built on honesty, respect, and shared values. Trust, once broken, rarely returns to its full strength. Protect yourself by ensuring that those you rely on are worthy of your trust. If someone has betrayed you once without remorse, they will do it again. Sign number 6. They isolate you from others. Toxic people don't always push others away with force. They do it slowly and subtly, using manipulation to create distance between you and your support system. At first, their remarks seem harmless, even caring. "I don't think your friends really understand you. Your family doesn't support you like I do. I just want to spend more time with you. Do we really need to hang out with them?" But over time, these small comments pile up, planting seeds of doubt. You start second-guessing your relationships, feeling guilty for wanting to spend time with others. And eventually, without realizing it, your world begins to shrink. How manipulators slowly isolate. Isolation doesn't happen overnight. It's a process of control. A toxic person might guilt-trip you for wanting to see your friends, so you'd rather go out with them than spend time with me? Make you question your relationships. Have you noticed how they never really support you? Create drama between you and others, turning you against them. Control your time by demanding constant attention, making you feel like you owe them your presence. Before you know it, they become your only source of support, making it harder for you to leave, even when you feel trapped. The Stoic perspective. Community and friendships build. Strength Stoicism teaches that true resilience comes from strong relationships. Seneca warned against isolation, emphasizing that we need others to thrive. Stoicism encourages us to engage with the world, seek wisdom from others, and cultivate meaningful relationships that uplift us. A toxic person violates this principle by cutting you off from your sources of strength, making you emotionally dependent on them. But true connection comes from relationships built on trust and respect, not control. How to protect yourself. Recognize the signs. Ask yourself, is this person making me feel guilty for wanting to see others? Are they controlling my time? Reaffirm. Your relationships. Make time for supportive friends and family, even if the toxic person tries to discourage it. Set firm boundaries. Let them know that your time and relationships are yours to manage, not theirs. Stay connected to a strong support system. Surround yourself with people who uplift and empower you, not those who limit your world. A toxic person isolates you because they fear losing control. The best way to break free is to reconnect with the people who truly have your best interests at heart. Don't let someone else decide who you can and can't trust. That power belongs to you. Learn the 7. They exploit your personal information. Toxic individuals weaponize your secrets, vulnerabilities, and past mistakes. Instead of respecting the trust you've placed in them, they use your personal information as leverage to manipulate and control you. This is not accidental. It is a deliberate act of power, meant to instill fear and obedience. They may bring up your past at the worst moments, twisting your words or actions to gain the upper hand. Over time, this behavior erodes your sense of security, making you feel exposed and vulnerable. How they use your information against you. Manipulators don't just collect information, they strategically use it to maintain control. In relationships, a toxic partner may threaten to expose something you told them in confidence to force you into compliance. In the workplace, a coworker or boss might use your struggles against you, spreading personal details to damage your reputation or hold power over your career. In friendships, someone may share private conversations with others to embarrass or isolate you. The goal is always the same: to make you doubt yourself, feel powerless, and stay under their control. The Stoic perspective. Choose wisely. Who you trust. Stoicism teaches that wisdom is not just about knowledge, it's about knowing who to trust. Marcus Aurelius advised that we should be careful with our vulnerabilities, sharing them only with those who have proven their character. Trust is earned, not given freely, and revealing too much to the wrong person can expose us to unnecessary harm. How to protect yourself. Guard your privacy. Be selective about what you share and with whom. Not everyone deserves access to your personal life. Recognize manipulation. If someone brings up your past to control or embarrass you, call it out and shut it down. Shut down gossip and exposure. If you discover someone spreading your private information, confront them directly or distance yourself immediately. Take back control. If someone threatens to use your past against you, refuse to play into their fear tactics. Their power only works if you give it to them. Your peace and autonomy are far more valuable than their need for control. Choose carefully who you confide in, and when someone proves they can't be trusted, cut off their access to your personal life. Because a person who uses your information against you is not someone who should be in your life at all. Sign 8. They show no remorse for their wrongdoings. Toxic individuals rarely take responsibility for their actions. Instead of feeling guilt or making amends, they act as if nothing happened. Rather than apologizing, they offer excuses, shift, blame, or dismiss the situation, making you feel like your pain does not matter. Over time, this pattern can erode your self-worth and create a dynamic where you constantly question your own feelings. One of the most damaging aspects of this behavior is that it forces you to lower your expectations. You wait for an apology that never comes, only to be met with indifference or deflection. They might say, "You are overreacting," or "I did not mean it that way." This refusal to acknowledge harm shows a complete disregard for your emotions. Examples of this behavior in everyday life. In personal relationships, this may appear in subtle ways. Imagine you put effort into planning a special evening for your partner, only to be met with, "This is not what I like. Next time, ask me first." Instead of appreciating your effort, they dismiss it entirely. At work, a colleague repeatedly shows up late to meetings, inconveniencing everyone. When confronted, they shrug it off with, "Relax, it is just a few minutes." Rather than taking responsibility, they minimize their actions and shift the problem onto you for addressing it. Among friends, a person may use your personal struggles as a joke. If you confront them, they laugh and say, "You take everything too seriously." Instead of acknowledging their mistake, they make you feel like the problem. These behaviors are not simple lapses in judgment. They show a pattern of avoiding accountability and dismissing the harm they cause. The Stoic perspective, growth requires accountability. Stoicism teaches that strength comes from self-awareness and accountability. Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus emphasized the importance of acknowledging mistakes and learning from them. A person who refuses to take responsibility not only harms others, but also prevents their own growth. A lack of remorse is not just a personal failing. It is a refusal to improve. When someone constantly shifts blame, avoids responsibility, or downplays their actions, they are choosing stagnation. While you cannot force them to change, you can control how much influence they have in your life. How? To protect yourself. If someone consistently avoids accountability, it is a clear warning sign. Instead of waiting for them to change, take steps to protect your well-being. Recognize the pattern. If someone repeatedly refuses to take responsibility, believe their actions, not their words. Stop making excuses for them. Do not justify their behavior or downplay the harm they cause. Set clear boundaries. Let them know you will not tolerate blame-shifting or dismissive behavior. Distance yourself if needed. If they continue to deflect responsibility, limit their role in your life and focus on relationships built on honesty and respect. Some people will never take responsibility for their actions. The best decision you can make is to walk away, protect your peace, and invest in relationships that support your growth. Sign number 9. They disrespect your boundaries. A toxic person sees your boundaries as obstacles, not limits. When you say no, they hear, "Convince me." They push past your emotional and personal space, ignoring your clear requests for respect. Whether it's disregarding your need for alone time, pressuring you into uncomfortable situations, or demanding more of your time and energy than you're willing to give, they refuse to accept that you have the right to control your own life. How? Boundary violations show up in everyday life, in relationships. Your partner insists on reading your private messages, saying, "If you have nothing to hide, why not let me look?" At work, a coworker repeatedly interrupts your lunch break with work requests despite you making it clear you need that time to yourself. With friends, someone pressures you into going out even after you've said you're exhausted, guilt-tripping you with, "Come on, don't be boring." When someone continuously ignores your limits, they send a message. Your needs, comfort, and autonomy don't matter. Over time, this erodes your self-worth, making it harder for you to stand up for yourself. The Stoic perspective. Respect for A. Boundaries is respect for autonomy. Stoicism teaches that respecting others' autonomy is a fundamental virtue. Epictetus emphasized that true virtue comes from recognizing and honoring the dignity of others, including their right to set boundaries. A person who disregards your limits disrespects your autonomy, a clear violation of Stoic principles. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, not control. If someone refuses to honor your boundaries, they are not engaging in a relationship. They are engaging in domination. How to protect yourself. Establish your boundaries now and stick to them. Be clear about what you will and won't tolerate. Enforce consequences. If they push your limits, take action. Reduce contact, walk away, or remove them from your life if necessary. Reject guilt-tripping and pressure tactics. You don't owe anyone an explanation for prioritizing your well-being. Trust your instincts. If you feel drained or uncomfortable, that's a sign your boundaries are being ignored. A person who repeatedly disrespects your boundaries doesn't respect you. Stand firm. Set limits and surround yourself with people who honor your autonomy. Recognizing toxic people is only the first step. The real challenge is choosing to break free. It is easy to stay in unhealthy relationships out of guilt, habit, or fear of confrontation. But ask yourself, is their presence in your life worth sacrificing your peace, self-respect, and emotional well-being? You are not obligated to tolerate people who drain you. The moment you decide to remove those who undermine your happiness and personal growth, you reclaim your power. This is your life. Do not let someone else control it. Do not wait. Start now. Choose self-mastery. Set firm boundaries. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, not those who pull you down. You deserve a life aligned with wisdom, strength, and self-respect. If this message speaks to you, subscribe right now and become part of a community committed to personal growth, resilience, and wisdom. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss an insight that could change your life. Stay strong, stay wise, and most importantly, stay in control of your peace.